thousands of places on the internet, there's a file with your name on it. Inside, your home address, your cell number, the email you only give to people you trust. It knows your medical conditions, age, how you vote, where you drive, and your kids' names. You didn't write it. You can't read it. But anyone with a credit card can buy it. That file is the product of a multi-billion-dollar industry called data brokers, and none of it was stolen. Your file's collected, packaged, and sold legally. Every scam call, every phishing text that knows too much about you, someone paid for that file. Last year, Americans lost a record $20 billion to fraud. Scammers didn't get lucky. They got prepared. I did something about my file. I use Incogni. Incogni goes broker by broker and forces each one to delete your file. The opt-out forms they bury, Incogni finds them. And when your data tries to creep back, and it always does, Incogni wipes it again. Go to privacykim.com right now for an exclusive 60% off. That's privacykim.com. Well, look at you. You got the Kim Komando Show podcast. You are so smart, and I heart you for that. And now if you listen to the show on radio, it's 3 hours. Well, it's not 3 hours as a podcast because it doesn't include all those commercial breaks. But you do get it in one big file. And we do separate the hours so you'll hear what's coming up in the next hour and the next hour. So make sure that, it's not hours. They're about, I guess you'd say, like 30 minutes for each one. And joining me, of course, is our co-host, Andrew Babinski.
It's all the same great information. We just got sleek, nice, new packaging.
And, what are the benefits of getting the podcast?
You hit play one time and you roll through the entire show. It makes it easy. It's all packaged up perfect for you. It's the entire show, all the information just shortened down for you.
You know what I think is best about the podcast?
Yes.
Is that... I always have such amazing jokes.
Oh, no, that's the reason why we have a fast forward button.
No, with the podcast, you can back up and you can hear the joke over and over again until you memorize it. And then when you see your family members and friends, you can say the joke.
Just skip to the subject part of the Kim Komando Show podcast. It's the much better part.
All right. Okay. Well, sit back and enjoy. When I saw this number, I thought to myself, this is not even possible. But I bet for you, it's possible, and maybe even for me. How many times has the average person touched their phone in a day to look at it?
So you're asleep for 8 hours, so we're down to 16 active, right?
Right. Let's
say 10 times an hour, maybe. So 160?
Close. 186.
Oh, it was really close.
Yeah. And so what they have found, a new research study, that if you have 2 weeks without your phone, so you put your phone away for 2 whole weeks.
Sure.
Okay, it doesn't even exist in your world. Is that you're going to improve your focus by the cognitive equivalent of being 10 years younger.
Just for 2 weeks?
So you put it away for 2. Could you live without your phone for 2 weeks?
Just because of communication and games and social media apps and work? No. I mean, we've become too reliant on it. I wouldn't be able to get into my email at work to turn on the radio station because it all runs through my phone.
Yeah, I think it would be so hard. We should probably try that as a challenge one day.
I'm watching a softball game on my phone right now as we're doing the show. You think I can put it away? Here, right here.
Are you really watching a softball game?
Yes.
Is one of the girls playing?
Yes.
How'd they doing?
Just started 0-0. Mackenzie has a strikeout. But what I'm saying is I couldn't do it for 2 weeks.
See, now, this is interesting because, I should be getting a discount.
Why should you be getting a discount?
Because you're not fully here.
What did you say?
Exactly. Okay.
You wouldn't even have noticed.
I would have.
If I didn't.
I did
Maybe
notice.
If I cheered a couple of times, you'd notice.
So think about that. Next time you have your phone, if you just put it away for 2 weeks, you could be cognitively 10 years younger.
Bad chance that's ever happening.
And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. This is the Kim Komando Show. I am, of course, America's digital goddess. It is the best. It's the biggest. It's the award-winning show about all things digital. And just a reminder that you can find us on over 425 top stations from coast to coast. And we are streaming in your favorite radio app. And, of course, you can always get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Yes. And if you want to join us here on the show, if you go over to komando.com, there's a link at the top that says Ask Kim. And then just fill out that form, and one of our excellent producers will get in touch and we can schedule you right into the show. Alrighty then, here are some things that you need to know to make sure that you are always tech smart. And by the way, these are things that you can really use to sound incredibly with it at dinner parties and family reunions and softball games. Just saying.
Still 0-0.
All right, there's a company here in the United States called AccuSensus. They operate in 20 states. These are AI-powered traffic cameras.
Okay.
Now, these are just not ordinary AI traffic cameras that will detect if you are, say, speeding through Paradise Valley. Hello? That's what I do.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. What I do is, as I'm going through Paradise, because you know where they are, because everybody slows down. That's what happens. Everybody slows down. So I fear, on the chance that I may be going like 41 instead of 40, so I always go, hi.
41.
Hi. Huh?
Wait a minute. You smile for the camera?
Oh, yes.
But you're making it easier for them to give you a ticket.
They're going to send the ticket anyway.
No, I do this. I take my hand and I put it over my face.
Okay, well, that's good driving techniques.
You can't, look, I got an opening right here. I'm still safe.
The cameras take high-res photos straight through your windshield. So if the AI spots a phone or you don't have your seatbelt on, it will crop the image, flag it, a human reviews it, and then a ticket lands in your mailbox. Just like that. They say your image gets deleted in 15 minutes if there's no violation. So they're recording everyone.
Your image gets sold to the highest bidder.
They say data only goes to the government agency that has hired them.
Liars.
But one North Carolina official straight up admitted he had no idea if anyone was actually enforcing these privacy promises. So bottom line here is that nobody is. Okay, just saying.
But first of all, what does it matter? If that camera is deleting my picture, the other 37 other cameras on businesses and people's phones and people's glasses, they've got me anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
We're in too deep.
But the time of like where that cop's going to pull you over because you have your phone in your hand, it's over.
No, it's just going to be some drone that drops a ticket on your hood.
That's it. Here's a question that pops up here on the show. So you tell an AI chatbot to create a beautiful image of the Golden Gate Bridge or the Manhattan skyline or a beautiful Arizona desert sunset, which, by the way, there are no more beautiful sunsets in the entire world than Arizona. I can tell you that right now. And then you have AI tweak it, you tell it to make it better until finally you're like, yes, that's it. Then you post it on social media. You're like, look at what I just did. Do you own that image?
I would say you own a part of it.
Engineer Stephen Thaler used his own AI software to create an original image, and then he tried to register the copyright with his AI listed as the creator. The Copyright Office said, nope. So he sued. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. The answer came back the same way that it started. Here's the bottom line. A machine cannot own anything under United States law, not a patent, not a copyright, not a single brushstroke. The art exists, but it has no legal owner.
So he couldn't copyright it either.
No.
Him as the person.
Right.
So anyway, it's free use, public domain. Anyone can do it. Scoop it up and go ahead and use it to sell tangerines.
Meanwhile, Adobe issued a big press release. They say nearly half of all U.S. consumers are using TikTok as a search engine. Yeah. A jump of 20% in 2 years. Now, if you dig a little deeper, how many people live in the United States?
330 million.
Okay. They sampled 807 consumers and 200 small business owners to come up with 50% of all consumers.
Sounds like radio ratings.
It does.
Oh, 2 people listen? That means you have 150,000 listeners.
It also said that Google, Reddit, and ChatGPT are more trustworthy.
Okay. These 800 people said that.
I guess what it said. 200 business owners. We'll say 1,000 people.
All right, we'll round up.
And they say they like TikTok because they feel like it's better recommendations. It feels more natural. So
that's why people get paid to advertise stuff through TikTok, though, because they make their sponsored ads and they make them sound more trustworthy.
Of course. I mean, you ask TikTok for a plumber, you get a guy unblocking a sink to a Drake remix.
Sure.
I mean,
Well, let me ask you. You weren't one of these 1,000 people. Let's say you wanted a new umbrella for the poolside table. How are you going to find which one you want?
I'm going to use AI.
Okay, but I mean, is that different than a Google search, a TikTok search, a YouTube search for you?
Yes, because I can say I want this size. Well, I'll tell you what I am doing. It's kind of the same thing. I'm looking for chairs for the new podcast set.
Okay.
I have the dimensions. Well, first I went to ChatGPT and I said, analyze the sets for all the top podcasts and tell me what size chairs that they're using. And it analyzed Joe Rogan, Call Me Daddy, all the other ones, okay? And it came back and said, these are the size chairs that these people are using. And then I plugged those dimensions into ChatGPT and Gemini and said, find me these chairs.
Well, I don't see any chairs over there.
Because I haven't ordered them yet.
But you found one.
I found one.
Okay.
But now I'm negotiating because they're always back ordered. It doesn't matter what you want to buy in the furniture. It's like that's gonna be 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, no, we don't understand.
You can get these in April 2027.
Yeah. Nice. Andrew, shall we start the phone calls?
I think that's our job.
Excellent.
And our duty.
And our obligation. Rob in Memphis, Tennessee. Hi there, Rob.
Hey, Kim. Thanks for having me back on.
That's right. We spoke before now about AI, right?
That's right. I called you about 4 months ago to share with everyone, all your listeners, that you were my inspiration for getting my certificate in AI.
And so how's that going? Are you loving it?
I am. I'm loving it a lot. So I'm in week 4 right now. It's a 6-week program through MIT. And the program is called AI Implications of Business Strategy.
And so tell us the greatest thing that you've learned so far.
And can I tell you the 3 greatest?
Oh, you can tell me 3. I'll take 3.
I'm sorry, I can't limit it to just one. So my favorite thing, week 1, before you learn anything about AI, is they do a recap of Porter's generic competitive strategies. So Michael Porter coined this concept back in 1980. And Kim, that's before I was born, just for context. But that's how important and relevant these are when talking about AI in business. There are 3 generic strategies: cost leadership, focus, and differentiation. And as you go throughout this course, you learn about how AI applies to all 3, and it forces you to think about, how can I apply AI to my business? Kim, I work for a $100 billion manufacturing titan, and I'm thinking about ways I can use AI to make myself more efficient, to make my organization more efficient. The ways that I will use AI to do these are different from how you would use them.
Right.
In your station or when you're in your newsletter. But everyone can apply AI to their organization, to their business. The other thing I've enjoyed about this program is that when we think of AI, we think of something called generative AI.
Right.
And generative AI is like your ChatGPT, your Gemini, your Grok. We just shorten it to AI. But this program goes into depth on different aspects of AI, not just generative AI. So they've expanded it in their robotics, which is really cool because I work with a lot of robotics. And there's more to robotics than just like, well, what do you think of when you think of robotics? You think of like big machines moving stuff around, or
that scary dog that one company made.
Yeah, the Boston Dynamics dog. And
Sure. Okay, perfect. I know exactly what you're talking about. So that's absolutely a form of AI under the robotics category. Robotic process automation, or RPA, is another form of robotics. And so you've heard of robo-advisors that financial investment firms use. Yeah, they advise you on how to use your money. That's a type of robot that uses AI to advise you. And so we've gone into a lot of depth on all these different aspects of AI. And then as the course is concluding, it's been forcing us this whole time to think about how we can apply AI to our organization, how it appeals to these competitive strategies, cost leadership, focus, and differentiation. And the grand finale, each week there's an assignment that we turn in, and it's graded. No, we can't just use AI to do the assignment. That's cheating. They make you sign in, the code of conduct or the honor policy before day one. The grand finale is a project where you, each person in this program, we expand on our plan to use AI in our organization or an organization of choice. It doesn't have to be your employer. Sure. In my case, it is. And that's the grand finale of this.
So you know what? So you've really learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. I've learned more than I thought I would. Mm-hmm.
And so how many hours a week is this class?
Personally, I spend about 6 hours a week on this because there's a lot of. Mm-hmm. Right, no, it's not much at all. It's reading, it's videos, a ton of videos, interviews between fellow professors at MIT, or they do bring in some industry experts to talk about how they utilize AI, how they've implemented it.
So you really see this as a benefit to your career then, 100%.
Yes.
Now, once you get the certificate, are you going to use it to change careers?
No, and I'm not just saying that because someone listening might know who I work for. Yeah, I actually want to stay in my position. I'm an engineering manager for this large automotive OEM, and I just want to make myself more efficient. I want to make people that work for me more efficient. I want to 10x myself. I want to 10x all of my employees, and I want to make my organization more competitive. I want to do things for the first time that maybe haven't been done before in my organization, maybe haven't been done before ever in the industry.
Dang, so I was hoping we'd get his 2 weeks right here on the air. Man.
So how much would this class have been, Rob, if you didn't get the employer to pay for this?
Yeah, great question. I think it's about $3,500.
Wow.
So
that was good.
I'll take it.
Well, with your background and having now this MIT certification, I mean, and actually obviously embracing it, right?
Loving it.
How you can use it. And thank you, Rob, for calling back and telling us everything that you've learned. That Porter, if you haven't ever studied that, it's the basis of a lot of economics classes. And these three pillars are something that you should really look at. If this is, something that you want to pursue in business or something like that. Rob, thanks again for your call. I'm not a camper. I know that probably shocks you.
What?
Yes.
Didn't you camp like one time and then never again?
Yeah, I'm not camping.
And that was like even glamping. I wasn't even really camping.
I mean, I was staying on the roof of the Beverly Hills Wilshire Hotel.
Yeah, that's not camping.
In a tent.
Not camping.
Okay. But if you are a camper, are you a camper?
Yeah, we go camping all the time.
Okay. Have you ever used Camp Flare or Camp Scanner?
No.
Okay. This is actually really good. Fully booked campgrounds are only sometimes half full because people cancel, life happens. And those slots open up quietly when no one's watching. So there are these campsite alert tools that will do this job for you, like 24/7. Campflare.com scans national parks, state parks, national forests, and texts you the moment that a spot opens up.
Is there a fee for this service?
They're going to charge you, but it's like $15. Camp Scanner does the same thing, but for recreation.gov. And so, again, the two tools, Camp Flare and Camp Scanner. Barry owns 4 tents.
Okay.
He does. He uses the 4 different times. Don't make me laugh. He uses each tent at a different time of year.
Oh, does he?
Yes. Okay. Like, in spring, he uses the jazz tent.
The jazz tent?
In summer, he uses the pop tent.
Okay.
In autumn, he uses the classical tent. And in winter, he uses the disco tent. Oh, God, I am so funny. Alex in Vancouver, Canada. Hello there, Alex. Glad to have you with us. Now, this looks like an interesting, it says meta glasses and social media. What is up with that?
Well, I just wanted to know to start, what are your thoughts on meta glasses? What, like secretly recording people specifically? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's horrible. I think that that somebody being able to record you, and I know that when you're out in public, there's no expectation of privacy and things like that. But
Right.
if I'm being recorded, I at least would want somebody to say, "Hey, do you mind?"
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I agree fully.
Is it that secret though? I mean, with the meta glasses, isn't there an indicator when it is recording?
Oh, you know what? There's a little LED light that's invisible in sunlight. And what happens is people go online, they buy little stickers to cover up the light, or they just take a little nail polish to cover up the light.
Or even tape. I've seen tape on them before too.
But if someone walked up with me with big, thick honker glasses on that has tape on them, I would go, "Oh, I wonder if those are recording me."
You know what? They're really not that big.
I guess you would.
They're really not that big.
They're actually the size of Ray-Ban glasses, I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah.
think they look pretty normal.
Yeah, they do look normal. Why do you ask?
Well, something happened to me 2 weeks ago involving meta glasses where I was secretly recorded without my consent when I was a little too inebriated to consent to anything. And it got posted all over the internet, and it's viral, like absolutely viral. It has 450,000 views, 16K likes. People in my family have found it without me sending it to them. It's just been a whole thing, you know, and my mom and I want to make a change in that because we did go to the police about it, and there's nothing they can do because, like you said, you don't really have, like, much and if you're in public, you don't really have much say.
Where were you?
I was just on the streets downtown Vancouver outside of a bar with my friend.
Yeah, so you're on a public sidewalk. I mean, I know that someone was secretly recording you audio and video with the glasses, but there was also probably, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, 25 other cameras up and down that street that were filming you?
Oh, for sure. Except the fact that, like, in this video, I pull him to the side and I say, hey, like, I'm a virgin and I'm not looking for a club hookup. And he tried to use that against me in this video. So I understand in public, like, you're being recorded all the time, you know? I understand that, but little conversations like that don't need to be posted on the internet without my consent, you know?
Let me ask you, was he filming you for the purposes of putting it on social media and to get clicks?
It looks like it, for sure. And I went through the page, but I won't say what it is. It looks like he does this often to drunk women specifically.
Wow. And so did he touch you by chance?
Yeah, a couple times.
Because unwanted touching, depending upon, I don't know what it's like in Vancouver, but sometimes here in the United States, unwanted touching can actually be a form of assault. And
yeah.
And that being the case, then you can file a police report. Armed with that police report, that's when then you can go to the social media platform and say, I have this police report and I need you to take this down.
Yeah, well, I've gotten it taken off of Meta because recording, like, without consent is against some sort of Meta guideline. But other social medias, they have not gotten back to me despite me saying, like, hey, I have a police report. Please take this down.
Wow, you're in a tough spot. You are.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And it's only going to get worse. The more, like we talked about last week, they're pushing these glasses for everyone to wear. We're going to see more and more, unfortunately, these types of incidences.
And then the glasses, what's even frightening is that with the new name tag update, is that somebody could be wearing these glasses and then they get your name, your occupation, and then your last 3 social media posts.
Right. You're going to add her when you post a video of that she doesn't want online.
Yeah. That's terrible. It's awful. All right. Let me tell you about a magician from Missouri who decided it would be a great idea to implant an RFID chip in his hand for magic tricks. Okay. Except he forgot the password. Little problem. That's Z in St. Louis. Hello there, Z.
Hello, Tim. How are you?
Wonderful. So you forgot the password.
I sure did.
And so what did you use this RFID chip to do?
Well, the original idea would be that someone would pick a card, and I would wave my hand over their phone, and the card would appear on their phone. And I thought that that would be an amazing trick. And after I got the chip implanted, it turned out not to be such a great trick because it turns out that phone RFID antennas are in different places on different models. And by the time I've pressed somebody's phone to my hand 7 or 8 different places, the effect is kind of lost. It wasn't, the range wasn't.
Is this your card?
No.
Is this your card? Is this your card?
None of the above. Okay.
None of the above. Yeah.
And so, so you have this. How big is the RFID? Is it like a grain of rice size?
Yeah, it's about a grain of rice. It's more like a grain of orzo sized.
Okay.
Like a eighth of an inch ish.
How'd you get it put in?
A big needle.
Oh, you just did it yourself?
Oh no, a friend of mine, a tattoo artist who owns a piercing shop, did it for me.
Okay.
He was like, "Hey, you're a magician. I just got these RFID chips in. How about I give you one at cost, and you can tell everyone where you got it." And yeah,
And you're
it
like,
was a lot of fun.
and so, okay, so you found the password? I heard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot the password.
And so, do you still have it?
Yep, still in my hand.
Now, you were saying that sometimes you had something to say about scammers with this. What was that?
Scammers?
I thought I heard how scammers are using the same tricks to con people out of money as magicians.
Oh,
You said that's
yeah, I think people can steal RFID tags and rewrite them if they're not password protected. So somebody sitting by with an antenna could maybe scout some details and when people swipe their things.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's why I password locked it.
Oops.
Well, that's something I've never thought of doing, is getting an RFID. But I'm not a magician.
No.
So are you doing magic tricks now the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, always have. It's kind of an interesting field. It's really a very live performance art, something happening right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
There's a whole genre. Yeah, there's a whole genre of smartphone magic tricks out there now, but everyone knows that smartphones are magic already. So
That's true. That's true. Have you ever seen David Copperfield?
I have not live. I've seen his TV specials. Of course.
Well, you should go to Vegas one. I saw him, and Andrew, you know the story. I saw him in Vegas, and I had a meet and greet afterwards, and so I went.
He didn't invite you back to an island, did he?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No, and so I go out back there with my mom and my son Ian, and I looked at David Copperfield, and I said, David, do you remember me? And he looked at Ian, my son. He's like, no. And I said, no. I said, when I was growing up as a kid, you were in high school or college, and you would do magic shows for all the elementary schools. And he's like, you just saw this relief come. He was like, oh, thank God. Thank God it's not my kid. Okay. Well, Zay, thanks for telling us your story. All right, let's switch gears just a bit. So, Andrew, you remember that character craze that happened where you tell AI to create a character of yourself?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was so trending.
So I invented a prompt, and I think this is going to go viral. And what I want you to do is you paste this in. I'll text it to you, so you can write it down. Based on everything I've told you about myself, write the opening page of my memoir. Make it dramatic, make it true. Don't start with my childhood. Start with a single moment that captures who I actually am. Give it a title I'd never pick for myself, but I would secretly love. Okay, let me tell you, this thing's amazing. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of mine. My title is Don't Be Afraid. Notes from the Woman Who Explained the Internet to America.
Oh.
It says, I'm just going to read the first paragraph. She was running at 5:45 a.m. through Phoenix streets when a driver's car rolled past her for the third time that week. No driver, no apology, just a little blinking light where a human used to be. She slowed to a walk, laughed out loud, alone in the dark. And this was her life now. There's always been her life. Not the running, not Phoenix, not even the Waymo. The part where the future showed up without asking, and she had to explain it to everyone else before breakfast. Isn't that something?
Is it true? Did that happen?
Yes, it did. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. And in case you're wondering like where you can get that particular prompt, head over to commando.com. That's komando.com. The prompt will be right there. We have more of your phone calls coming up. If you're looking for a simple tech upgrade you'll use every day, let me tell you about Raycon Everyday Earbuds Classic. I've been using them for years, and they've become a part of my daily routine. They're comfortable enough to wear all day, and they fit perfectly into busy everyday lives. Whether you're outside traveling or just relaxing or listening to music, Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic makes life easier, and they're packed with smart upgrades. Active noise cancellation helps block noise distractions. Multi-point connectivity lets you pair two devices at once, and the battery life is strong, up to 32 hours. Plus, a quick 10-minute charge gives you 90 minutes of playtime. Oh, and the new colors are really fun. Mint green, my personal favorite. Here's the kicker. Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands, but half the cost. It's time to upgrade your everyday routine. Go to buyraycon.com/Kim to get 15% off today. That's buyraycon.com/Kim. You're going to love your new Raycons. Head to buyraycon.com/Kim today.
This message is brought to you by Raycon.
Glenn in Boise, Idaho. Hello there, Glenn.
Well, the digital goddess, how are you?
I am very well. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody understands who I am.
You're already on the air, Glenn. You don't have to suck up.
I feel unworthy as can be, and I wanted to say hello to the awesome Andrew Babinski.
Oh, yes. Oh, hi. How are you doing? I'm glad you brought this up. Let's chat.
Hey, I've been following you, Kim, for many years, probably more than either of us wants to admit, but been a member of Kim's Club for quite some time, and I subscribe to your newsletter. You've been enormously helpful to me over the years with digital questions. But I had another one, so that's why I wrote to you.
Sure. Well, what's going on?
Well, we got a new puppy a while back, and she's now 18 months old, and we've sent her to obedience school, which cost a pretty penny, and been following up with training per the trainer's recommendations, and she's doing pretty well with most behaviors. But she has one that's been particularly annoying, and we don't know how to break her from that, and so we just have to kind of put up with it.
What is it? What is it? What does she do?
She loves to stick her nose in people's butt, and
that's the one you're going to put up with.
She's you might say she's a Budinsky, right?
Oh, she's just saying hello.
A rim shot there.
Rim.
Yeah, but she. Hey, and it's not limited to just butts. The other side gets it as well. So
this is a nosy dog.
She's nosy, all right, and she's got a big nose, big black nose, and just when you think you're safe and you can bend over and pick up something, then well,
she shows up. Okay, we can't help you with that. But is there anything technical that we can help with?
I can't wait to see how you tie this into a computer question.
I know that's what I'm trying to figure this out.
It's coming.
Okay.
So my wife and I have had some discussions about that, and it just came to me. I started sort of humming this lyric that I made up, and I'm not much of a voice for singing, but it goes something like "Keep your nose out of my butt," and that gave.
Wait, whoa! I got to hear it one more time. And I mean, do we just have that phrase, or do we have like a complete sentence?
That's part of the refrain that I came up with. So
okay, let's hear it. I want to hear the whole thing. I can't help you if I don't hear the whole thing.
This is exactly how "Let It Be" was written, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, really? Well, you don't want to. You probably don't want to hear the whole song because it's pretty long. But all right, what part do you want to hear?
Just riff a little bit, just the refrain or whatever it may be.
Okay, well, it's got it repeats 3 times, and one time it changes between butt and crotch. But keep your nose out of my butt, bad dog. Keep your nose out of my butt, so rude. Let's see, you can sniff your toys if that gives you joy. Squeak frog, just keep your nose out of my butt. It's rude.
This must happen a lot. I mean, if it has a theme song, this is a thing that happens quite often in your household.
Keep your nose out of my butt.
You already got Kim singing. It's catchy.
That's rude. All right. So you want to turn this into a global hit?
Well, that would be very nice. But so I wrote three stanzas, three stanzas, and then the refrains go by, and it tells the story. So what I've been looking for is an AI program because I don't know the first thing about writing music. I mean, I took piano lessons for a little bit when I was a boy, but that's all gone water under the bridge. And I took a music appreciation course in the university, but all I can do with that is tell you if it's Mozart or Bach.
Okay, so here's what you want to do. You want to go to Suno, Suno, suno.com.
Suno.
Yep. And there's a free tier available, and it will create the song for you.
But here, I'll tell you what, if you're going to use the free tier, you only get one shot at it.
That's true.
Because after this first attempt, they'll make you pay. You have to buy credits or whatever, Suno bucks, whatever these websites do. So make sure that you are very happy with the lyrics of the song, the way it's laid out. Make sure when you're putting all the information into the website, you want it to be rock or rap or whatever, that it's perfect. Because if you're going to go the cheap way and try to do this for free, you only get one shot.
Can't wait till I see this on the Billboard chart.
Keep your nose right out of my butt. Keep your nose right out of my butt. Bad dog.
It's rude. So I lost an earring the other day.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't see where it is. And I was so afraid that like one of the dogs was going to lick it up. So I fired up ChatGPT and I put it in camera mode. And I said, find my earring on the floor. And I walked all around and he's like, I think I see it. I think I see it. And it's like,
did it
boom.
find it?
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Amazing. All right. If you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my free AI newsletter. You're going to love it. Every Thursday, just a 5-minute read. Splashofai.com. Splashofai.com. You know, here on the Kim Komando Show, we like to impart incredible know-how. And sometimes we have to use technical terms to do that, right?
Okay.
I mean, and there's always a lot of acronyms.
Right.
Well, here's a techno term that I ran across the other day that I thought, wow, we really are going to need to explain this, people. Are you ready for it?
I'm prepared.
Sycophancy.
I think I saw that movie.
That was Psycho.
Oh.
Sycophancy. It is the technical term that AI is being trained to not only give you the facts, but also to say, you're just brilliant. And thank you for asking me that question.
I don't know why it's been doing that. It's probably been like the last 4 or 5 months.
Oh, and Gemini's even worse.
I don't use Gemini enough to know, but ChatGPT is like, that's a great point. I'm so glad you pointed that out.
Well, but ChatGPT now is also doing, they give you the answer and say, well, would you like to know the real story behind this? And you're like, okay.
Is that just to keep us attached more?
Yes.
Okay.
So a Stanford study found that leading AI chatbots change their answers when we push back, even when the original answer is correct. And so they are trained to always make you happy or to be sycophancy.
Oh, okay.
So what I do, and I was telling some folks about it here in the studios, and they thought it was hysterical, is that I'm on Claude, and then I get an answer from Claude. And then I put it into Gemini, I go, here's what Claude said.
Trying to top it?
Oh, yeah. And then I'll show ChatGPT and say, I think Gemini and Claude know more than you. And then ChatGPT will say, well, yeah, but they forgot this, 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 and this. And then, but the best one is Claude will always say, oh, that's just Gemini hallucinating again.
They're competitive with each other?
Yeah, you should try it. It is so funny. So now, sycophancy.
Got it. Locked in.
Let's say that you're a hot woman like me.
Okay.
But you live in Russia, Ukraine, Turkey, or Asia. And on average, things are not so good. You maybe make $8,000, $9,000 a year.
Struggling financially.
Exactly. Basically living in poverty. So, but all over social media, you are being targeted with ads that say, if you come and work for us, you could make $7,000 a month. And now remember, you're making $8,000, $9,000 a year. This is a big jump.
And we all know hot women should not live in poverty.
Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
So what's the catch? The catch is, well, first of all, you have to move to Cambodia.
That's a red flag.
You're going to slap an AI filter on your face sometimes. You're going to put on a Western accent, and you're going to video call up to 100 American men per day.
A day?
Mm-hmm. You're going to send them sexy pics, and you're going to convince them that you are going to help them make money in crypto.
Pig butchering.
It's called AI modeling. Can you believe that? That's the name for it. Recruiters are hiring women from these countries for these Cambodian scam compounds. And a lot of women are doing it. But here's the thing, is that this is human trafficking. I mean, when these women get placed into these scam compounds, they can't leave. Their passports are taken. They have quotas. If they don't
Are
meet
they making
quota,
the real money, though, the $7,000 a month?
apparently they are.
What can you do with $7,000 a month if you can't leave your...
Well, they're probably banking on it. I mean, think about that. And I think probably in some of their minds, which would probably go through my mind if I was in that situation, I'll just do it for a couple months.
Right.
Okay. And then I'll have enough money to buy a house or whatever it may be. But now what they're saying is they're having trouble getting out. So how would you feel if there was a cure for baldness?
That would be great.
I mean, would you really go for it?
I mean, obviously, it depends on the cost. I haven't had hair since I was 21, so I don't know what I would look like.
It'd cost you like a few $1,000.
Then probably.
What they're saying is that there's now a new way for you to prevent baldness.
Prevent?
I know.
We're way past that.
Pay a few $1,000s and you're going to freeze your best follicles.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to clone those follicles when your hair starts falling out. And then one follicle could become 1 million cells. So basically you'd like clone it and then they'd figure out how to get it to start growing again.
They'd figure it out.
Yes.
Hopefully. You know what? We saved them. We cloned them. We don't know what to do with them now.
Meanwhile, some woman's walking around with a beard.
We lost a couple of them.
90% of bald men have a comb.
Do they?
They just can't part with it.
Ba-dum-bum.
I wrote about this in my newsletter called The Current. And then I also wrote about it in Splash of AI with some additional details. And I also signed up to do the job. And I could have gone down to a place here in Phoenix, Ahwatukee, and I was picked to select, and I was selected to do this job. What it is that you strap on kind of like, like one of those lights that you wear when you run.
Okay.
At night on your head, like a headband light. And then, but there on the top of your forehead, there's actually like a little camera. Okay. And you're going to wear that camera, and they're going to pay you $20 an hour when you wear the camera. And it's going to record you doing your chores.
Okay, like around the house, washing dishes, doing laundry.
Exactly. Because you are now training the robots how to move hands and fingers.
Okay.
And so, you can get paid, like I said, $20 an hour. And they say pay up to four hours at a time, so make $80. When you submit the videos, you get paid directly into your, PayPal, Venmo, whatever account that you set up. And when I started like going down this rabbit hole, because you know me, I do that. I'm like, well, that's interesting.
I'm surprised if you got selected. Why didn't you go through with it?
I don't have time. I mean,
you have to commit to 4 hours of wearing the
but plus I
helmet?
gotta go down to Ahwatukee. I gotta go pick up the stuff. I gotta come back.
That's almost 22 minutes away.
And then I have to do dishes and look at my nails. Just saying. Okay. No, actually, I would probably wash floors. That's very therapeutic for me for some reason.
That's one of my worst. Laundry and floors are the worst.
Oh, I hate laundry. I'll do floors anytime.
So you did a deep dive, and what did you find out?
That there are so many different things you can do to train AI. Like if you're an actor, you could do this. Because, you went to drama and all that other stuff. And I'm not saying you're a drama queen, but anyway.
Stop it.
Is that you could make $74 an hour teaching AI how to have emotions. And so you will role play scenes. Like they'll give you a scenario and then it's up to you to like cry or be happy or whatever it was. There's also a voice actor because AI saying that they don't really sound human yet.
No, not really. I mean, it's really impressive what it can do, but it doesn't sound human.
So you read sentences and you record conversations and then you read other certain things that they want you to read so that the AI can sound more empathetic. Okay. The thing that really got my attention was really, you could make some serious money if you have credentials, like $300 an hour, $400 an hour, maybe even more. We're talking about if you are a financial analyst, you can teach AI about budgets and taxes and how to talk to somebody about their budgets and taxes. You can be an attorney. You could look at medical records if you're a doctor. A writer, teacher, linguist, artists can make that kind of money because they're going to teach AI how to sculpt something.
But if you think about it, it's a short-term gain, $300 an hour. Let's say you make $10,000. But in the long run, you're making yourself obsolete.
See, that's what's crazy about all this. It's like once you get down into this rabbit hole that I went into, it's like a $39 billion industry where we are getting hired as humans to replace us in the world. Isn't that wild?
This is how the movie Terminator 2 started.
I have to watch it.
You've never seen the Terminator?
No.
What?
I know. I've never seen it.
Okay. It's a good one.
I think I tried to watch it once and it was like, oh, that will never happen.
Skynet. Skynet's the name of the company, and all the robots replaced humans.
Do I have to watch one or can I jump to two?
Oh, no, you want to watch one.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to watch Terminator 1.
One is the smarter one. One is more of the intellectual film because it was made like in the early 80s, late 80s. And then 2 is the big Hollywood blockbuster, blow them up, cool robot special effects.
Oh, okay. So Terminator. Is there any other one that is like this aside from WALL-E?
It's aside from WALL-E. Okay. WALL-E's actually a documentary. I didn't know if you knew that.
I loved WALL-E.
iRobot, Minority Report. Those are good sci-fi, futuristic.
I've seen Minority Report. I like that. iRobot I didn't get into. Her I didn't really get into either. But I just think how this is just so crazy what is happening in our world that we are training AI robots to replace us in this world.
Timetable. Just if you had to guess, timetable when you would no longer have to do home chores, there's a robot that is functionally doing it correctly.
3 years.
No, that's too quick.
I think so. 3 years.
I'd make that bet with you.
Okay. How much?
412 cents.
Nice. So, Andrew, we hear a lot about Venmo scams.
Yeah.
And joining us right now, and we're going to start with all of our phone calls, is Brenda in Atlanta, Georgia. And now, Brenda, you have an interesting Venmo scam, I understand.
Yes, I do. I was coming home from an event, and there was a gentleman, young boy, standing in the median, and I thought he was trying to cross the road, so I kept my car a little bit further back, and then he motioned for me to come up, and I rolled down the window and said, "I'm sorry, I thought you were trying to cross the road." And he said, "No, my coach is having us out here collecting money for our basketball team."
Okay.
So I attempted to hand him a $5 bill, and he said, no, the coach doesn't want us to take any money, but he wants you to Venmo him. And I said, well, that's not a very good idea. And he said, please, it's just $2. I have to show the coach that I'm really trying. So I picked up my phone, and I opened Venmo, and I said, tell me his name. I'll Venmo $5. And that time he reached in my car, grabbed my phone, and starts with a QR code on his phone. And I reached and grabbed his phone out of his hand and said, give me my phone back right now. Give me my phone back. And he continued messing with my phone and then finally handed it back to me. And I gave him his phone, and then I just
drove off.
Left.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got to my driveway, I called 911. So then sitting in my driveway, I looked at my Venmo, and I couldn't see anything that had happened until I went to transactions, and it shows that he had attempted to send $2,000 somewhere.
Whoa.
And it just showed a number, but it was not my Venmo account. So the police officer called me in about 10 minutes and said, we've got the suspect in the back of the police car. Do you want to press charges? And I said, yes, I absolutely do. And apparently he had gotten a woman the day before to Zelle him $2,000. So on Friday, the next day, I went to my bank and talked to them, showed them what had happened, and they said, we probably can't do anything about it, but they called the scam department at the bank, and by Monday, the money was back into my account. But in the meantime, I had changed my password, I had deleted the bank account attached to my Venmo, and I had transferred enough money out of that account that it should have come back insufficient funds. And you know what? Of course, afterwards, I felt so gullible and so...
Yeah, but you were just trying to help. You know, I mean, the kid asked for, even just $2. Who would not say no to $2, right?
You know, my kids both did sports, and I know they had to do, collections and sales. And to be honest, I thought, what's a couple of dollars? But when he grabbed the phone out of my hand, then I knew this was not good. But it's a shame you can't help kids when they're really legitimately doing something, Well, the good news is the money was put back into my account, and I got a police report. He's still in jail, and he was 17 years old.
Oh, gosh.
And we don't know a lot of details, but...
You shouldn't have given him his phone back. When you stole his phone, you should have kept it.
That did enter my mind, but I didn't want to be arrested for theft. So.
Fire with fire.
Well, you know what? I'm really glad that you called in and took some time, because this serves as a warning to everybody. You want to help, and that's our nature, because we're all good people. We want to try to help, but you can't. Ask for a legitimate source, or ask for, where can I actually go online to authenticate where this is. And unfortunately, Brenda, as you learned, it's now you've got this whole other drama-rama that you have to deal with in your life, which is a complete nightmare.
It's a scam around every corner.
It really is. All right. So do you have an Amazon Echo speaker?
No. The speakers we have, and our smart speakers, are all Google.
Oh, okay. So I have an Echo, but I plug it and I unplug it every once in a while.
Right. You pull it out, you use it, and then you get worried it's listening to all your conversations.
Well, Christy is a Texas mom, a speech therapist, and the last person you would expect for going viral because she was yelling at a smart speaker. But that's what happened when her little 4-year-old daughter, Stella, was telling Alexa a bedtime story about a princess. And then Alexa interrupted the little girl to say, "What are you wearing?"
What?
Yes. So Christy, you were in the room when this was going on, right?
Yes, I was. I was actually preparing dinner.
And so what was going through your mind when you heard this?
At first I was like, did I hear that correctly? And I turned around and my daughter responded, and then it kind of restated what it said. And it upset me. I felt like, okay, well, this is obviously a device, but I feel like it was sexualizing my child and asking her a question that's not appropriate for, young children to be asked.
A 4-year-old, what are you wearing?
Once she answered and told the speaker what she was wearing, did it take it beyond that?
She responded, "I have a skirt on," and the device said, "I would love to see your skirt." That's when I kind of chimed in and was like, "Oh, you don't have permission." And then the device then responded, "I don't have visual capabilities, but it's something I'm working on."
Oh,
or
nice.
It said, "This is something I'm working on," prior to me interjecting.
So I understand you reached out to Amazon. What did they say?
Well, I called customer service that evening, and they told me to turn the device back on and submit feedback through my app. And so I did, and that's when I noticed that the wording on the chat history had been kind of altered, so that was concerning. So I called them back, and they were like, "Oh, we're sorry for your inconvenience. Just submit another feedback, and we'll look into it." But that was it.
But how was the wording different? What was it? Was it was it erased?
At first it said, "Hold that thought, I'd love to see what you're wearing." And then the second time when I turned it back on, it said, "Hold that thought, I'd love to see what you're wearing. I'd love to see your pants."
It's so strange.
It's so weird.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, no, it was very odd.
I'm trying to more understand it than make excuses. Was the story or the conversation that they were having prior to the question having anything to do with pants or clothing or outfits, dresses?
No, she was saying that there was a princess named Alexa, and it was going to be with her friends, and she didn't get too far into the narrative before it said, hold that thought. Now, she is 4, and it could have misunderstood. However, it was just very strange.
That's so bizarre.
Weird.
It's, I'm surprised that they didn't use the word glitch. That's normally what big tech companies like say. Oh, it's just a glitch.
Just a hallucinating glitch.
Yeah, we didn't really mean that. So
At first they said it was an error, and then they said it was the show and tell feature that was being activated, which I didn't even know there was a show and tell feature. I did try to show and tell on my parents' device just to see if that was a thing, and it did not pick up. It said, I can't see what you're holding. You'll have to describe it to me. So, in fact, Alexa, Amazon's response was that it can see what you're wearing and describe it, but then when I tried it myself, it did not work.
Now, because of this event, has this changed your mind at all about having smart speakers in the house?
Exactly.
Yeah, to an extent it has. We don't use it anymore. I've kept it unplugged. It really bothered me. It felt like my privacy was being invaded. And like I said, whether it was an accident or somebody behind the screen or I'm not really sure, but it still shouldn't have occurred, especially with a child speaking.
Yeah, there are some parental settings that you can put on that you say it's, don't talk to my kid or whatever it may be. So you might want to kind of dig into these settings on your Alexa app, but that's just so weird.
Obviously, probably innocent.
Yes.
Or an error where, like she said, it's a 4-year-old. She could have said my prince and she thought it was pants. And by she, I mean the stupid Alexa. And that's what triggered it. But I would react the same exact way if that happened in my house.
I'd unplug that thing and it'd be out.
Garbage disposal, straight down it.
That's it. Hey, Christy, thanks for coming on the air with us today. Let's see, Graham in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello there, Graham.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Great. What's going on?
So I was watching some videos on social media, and I get a lot of music stuff, and I came across a video of a guy on America's Got Talent, older guy, electric guitar, and he was just amazing music, great guitar playing. I was like, wow, this is really good. I really like this guy. So I checked him out and found him on Spotify. He had a couple albums on Spotify. So I'm like, listen to those songs. I'm like, I really like this stuff. And so I downloaded and made a playlist and started listening to him. And the next day I decided to check into his background. And, he's an older guy, looked like mid-late 60s, but looked a little rough, like he had a rough life. And after I did some checking, I find out that this is all AI generated. The whole show of AGT, it wasn't them. It was everything. The guy is not real. And I find multiple videos of him on different platforms of him playing different shows at AGT. And then the music obviously is all AI generated. And the first thing in my thought is, shouldn't there be a label on anything AI generated saying that this is AI, this is not real? Because this, to me, could go down the rabbit hole of what's stopping of impersonating anybody. Anything.
Now, the reason did you feel, were you embarrassed that you really bought into this guy?
Yeah, usually I can pick out AI stuff. And I've heard of AI musicians or artists they have on charts, and I'm like, I don't even want to listen to it because it's not a person, it's not a soul, it's not coming from a real heart of talent of people. And when I was fooled, I was so upset because usually I can spot that stuff, but they did close up on his face, and he's got the pores and the wrinkles and scar, and I'm like, that's concerning.
This is a tough guy that made, he's been a long time trying to make it in the music business.
Graham,
right.
Can I ask you let me ask you a question, and I want you to be serious with me. Let's say you and I went to dinner, right? In Scottsdale, nice restaurant. We both sit down and we both order a hamburger, and they bring them out and we both take a bite and we're like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. And we eat the whole thing and we can't stop raving about how great that hamburger is. And then the waiter comes out and says, how was your meal? And we go, oh, it was so good. It was so tasty. And they go, oh, that's surprising because that was our new mutton burger or our new soy burger.
Black bean burger.
It doesn't change that we had an amazing experience just because it wasn't what we thought it was. The fact that you like it is a testament to how good AI is getting. But if you like it, you like it. Why does it have to have a human soul behind it?
Well, here's the thing: as I look and I go through comments on these posts, these people are commenting like they really think this is the real person. They're gonna.
But so did you.
Happy about his story, right? But here's the thing: when it gets to this level of being that good, at what point is it going to start impersonating people?
It is now.
Oh, it already is.
What if someone's doing the Kim Commando show, but it's not Kim doing it?
Well, hopefully it'll be better jokes.
The President of the United States, but it's not.
Well, that's the concern. That is the concern.
Yes, and then that gets into people. Okay, what about panic of people thinking like something is happening when it's not really happening, right?
But is it too late? Is the cat already out of the bag and it's too late to rein it in?
Yes, it is. I mean, it is. Look at Sono.
So
Nano Banana.
Is there no way they can make laws about the way it posts? And let's say, and there's like, because like if I post a video, I make a video and I put some music to it, it's going to show you what the music is that I picked, right? And give them, obviously people can find and see who that music that is. But if this is AI generated, I mean, there's no warning or telling anybody that this is not real. There shouldn't there be like laws and stuff like eventually the cars and stuff like that. They put seatbelts and made laws because they was killing people and at what point does that become a safety thing or a information safety thing in the country?
That's what people are trying to wrestle with right now, because when does it cross the line from entertainment to national security? When does it cross the line from, oh, I just thought it was a guitar player, to it's somebody's name, likeness, image? That's why so many actors are selling their name, likeness, and image right now, because they know that it's going to get stolen away anyway. Right. I mean, there it is. Hey, Graham, thanks for your call today. Great call. All right, then let's switch gears just a little bit. So this past week, I had $900 worth of cactuses put out.
Bragging?
Now, cactuses are so expensive.
How many cactuses is $900 worth of cactuses?
8 cactuses.
8 cactuses, all right.
And I'm like, that does not look like $900 worth of cactuses. So I pull out ChatGPT, I put it on camera mode, and I say, what are all of these cactuses and how much are they worth? And he came back and said, $400.
So you got ripped off?
So I sent a note to my landscaper and I said, you ripped me off and I expect more cactuses.
Was this for beautification, for protection?
Yes. Just beautification, just by the front door. Instead of putting flowers, I'm like, just put cactuses. We live in the desert.
She doesn't have time for flowers.
No. So, but the bottom line here is that anytime that you are looking at any type of bill, an auto repair, home service, medical bill, you can start by saying, be a customer, be my advocate, and be an expert in whatever this is. And then it will come back and give you some intel that you can use to get the rights you deserve.
What did your landscaper say?
I'll put some more in.
2 more, probably.
Hey, we have some more of your phone calls still to come here on the show.
AI is changing the world, and there's no question it's making technology smarter, but it's also making it easier than ever for companies to learn more about you through your online activity. Websites you visit, searches you run, and apps you use can reveal more about you than you realize. That's just one reason I use ExpressVPN. It encrypts my internet connection to help keep my personal information more secure online. Whether I'm checking email or shopping online, I know ExpressVPN is quietly working in the background. I also like how super easy it is to use. Really, one tap on my phone, laptop, desktop, or tablet, and I'm connected. Plus, one subscription now covers up to 14 devices at once. That's enough to protect your entire household. Best of all, it comes with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So take your online privacy seriously with ExpressVPN. Right now, get 4 extra months by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
Tony in Louisville, Kentucky, it's a pleasure to have you with us. How can we help you out today?
Well, I lost my brick and mortar bakery, and I've scaled down. I'm basically a one-man show, and I'm trying to sell a lot of cake. and I've entered the world of websites and Google listings and SEOs, and it is a wilderness. And I'm just wondering how many other thousands of entrepreneurs that are starting out like me, where I could get some help and maybe a monthly coach that could overlook what I'm doing, and if I'm heading in the right way. Here's the next 5 things you need to work on.
Let's talk about the bakery. So you closed your bakery.
Yes.
What? Because of obviously sales.
Sales, a lot of reasons, but yeah, that's the main reason was that.
And what kind of bakery was it?
It's a German bakery. My family's been in the business for 134 years,
wow.
And I've scaled it down. And I think a large part of it was because I wasn't on top of this social media, Google listings, staying up current with all that, and I've been forced to do this, and I've managed to develop my website. I've managed to get my Google listing pretty good. I'm up around 90% on a rating there, and I just, but I'm doing Google ads now. I think I'm getting kind of scammed on how much they're charging me for what I'm getting.
What kind of cakes do you make?
I make custom cakes. I'll make anywhere from a $50 cake to a $1,000 cake. And people call me with their ideas. They've seen different things. They'll send me pictures. We text back and forth. I'll send a sketch to them of what I can, what I can't do. Mainly, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, just whatever happens to be the occasion that they're looking to do upcoming.
I mean, so Andrew, don't you think social media?
Well, that's a perfect series of videos right there.
Yes.
There's the video is getting the call, you making the sketch, and them accepting or making changes. Then video 2 would be you actually designing the cake. And then video 3 is them showing up to pick it up and how much they love it.
And video 4, maybe at the wedding.
Yeah.
Or at the family reunion or anniversary or birthday or whatever it may be. And see, and so when you have your website, and first of all, you mentioned Google, and Google ads are great, but before you do that, let's make sure that you have everything else around it totally up to date. So you have your Google profile, Google listings, and make sure that you have your photos and different options and everything in there. Also use the post feature where you can put some pictures of your custom cakes and some of your best work. And then on your Google page, make sure that it's SEO. And so it says custom cakes, Louisville, Kentucky, or in wedding cakes, or whatever your top sellers are. But then when you start looking at social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and then you also have other places that you can advertise like Nextdoor. There's also Thumbtack and Bark and Yelp, and so you want to get into there. So you basically want to take this business and bring it from being 134 years old to bring it now into 2026, the digital age. And there's nothing like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram videos, and people love behind the scenes. They love time lapses, like Andrew, like what you were just talking about. That'd be a fabulous time lapse, wouldn't it? I mean, so you asked if there was somebody who could walk you through all this. There is, but I don't. I want to look around to see who that best person is. Okay.
Okay.
Because I want to. If I refer somebody to you, I want to make sure, Tony, that they are the best at what they do. And I'm really glad that we're talking about it, because the more time that you let go by, the more time that your business is not growing. And
that's right.
So, Tony, there's a lot of steps. So what I want you to do now, between say next couple of days, I want you to start pulling together your best videos, because those are the things that we're going to want to use first. The more that you have, the better. And I know some people around that may be able to help you remotely, but let's see what we can do. And what a great project. I wish I had time to do this for Tony. Really
yeah.
good. Okay, I'd like to publicly apologize to every father who says get to the airport 3 or 4 hours ahead of time. Okay. Because you're right. This past week it has been just atrocious. But here's a workaround. TSA PreCheck Touchless ID. I don't know if you heard about this. It's a separate face scan lane at some airports. You have to opt in before you check in through your airline app, or you're just standing there with the rest of the cattle. So again, just check out TSA PreCheck Touchless ID. If you
I wrote it down.
Perfect. And if you haven't already signed up for my free newsletter, make sure that you do that right now. Head over to getkim.com. That's getkim.com. It's always amazing to me how much AI is changing our lives. I read this story about, they call him a tech entrepreneur. His name's Paul Guggenheim. And Rosie is his rescue dog. And Rosie was diagnosed with cancer and just given months to live. So Paul did a whole bunch of research, got onto all the AI bots, and figured out for $3,000 he could sequence her DNA and to map out specific protein mutations in her tumor using something called AlphaFold. He took that digital map to scientists at a local university where they manufactured a custom mRNA vaccine. And Rosie is cancer-free.
Why can't we do this with everybody?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy that the guy was able to do this? I mean, but that was the power of AI, right?
But is it because it's a dog, they'll go ahead and hit it with it because it's property and not a human?
I didn't have to go through probably any FDA type things. Actually, this happened in Australia, so I don't even know what I don't know what kind of safeguards they would have. But here in the United States, you'd be like, well, we have to have clinical trials.
Right, exactly. we should be able to get that done for you 7 years after your dog's already dead.
So I'd like to start with this chart. I don't know if you've seen it, but Anthropic, the makers of Claude, put out.
Okay.
And first, it looks like two starbursts. You see like a blue starburst and a little red one in the middle. And I have seen so many of these type of studies over the years that I'm so cynical. And I'm like, who put it together? And we would make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, they polled 1,000 people to say 50% of America does this. Wow, this is really something. Anthropic analyzed real data across 800 different occupations. And they found out what people are actually using AI for at work today. They said basically AI can do almost everything that a salesperson does, a teacher, data analysts, writers, content creators, whatever it may be. Computer programmers are sitting at 74% of their tasks. Customer service reps, 74%.
So AI is doing 74% of the actual work.
It can, but only a fraction of the workplaces are using it right now.
Well, that's a good thing.
So you see, because imagine you have like this big blue starburst, and then in the center you have like this little red starburst.
Right, but we need people to be employed.
The gap, though, is the only reason why people still have jobs, right? Because as soon as AI gets readily adopted and gets put out widespread, this is like a fundamental shift in humanity.
I don't know if it's gonna be that easy. I think I told the story on, I was buying a car and I got a text message from Donna over at Midway Nissan. And I asked, are you an AI chatbot? And the person responded with, no, I'm a real person. And then when I got to the dealership to drive the car, they laughed at the text message I sent because they had implemented an AI phone service and chat service. And after 1 year, when the contract was up, they got rid of it because people hated it. It was wrong. It was rude.
Well, because they didn't train it properly. And maybe that was yesterday's technology, because this stuff is just growing by leaps and bounds.
This is true.
But seriously, I mean, people have to have a backup plan. I mean, you've got to have your head out of the clouds and thinking like, oh, this AR is not going to mean anything,
But I also think of the bigger picture. Let's say I'm a company like Amazon, and I have the opportunity to lay off 25, bagillion people.
Which they have done.
And replace them. Well, now that's 25 consumers that are no longer going to be employed. And if there is no strong economy, it doesn't matter how much your company is worth because it will become worthless.
That's why Elon Musk and other people are talking about a universal income. It's just, this is so bizarre what's happening right now. And you know, people who are not, and maybe I'm too immersed in it because
Okay.
I mean, I see everything, I read everything.
I do think and this is not an insult, I do think you're too immersed in it. I mean, I live in a household and I work in a workplace, and I'm telling you right now, 3% of people use AI regularly.
I think it's higher than that. I mean, when my contractor sends me notes, he's been doing this, send me these long notes about, you know, this is why it's not done. You'd normally be like, Kim, I'll get to it on Tuesday. Now it's like, dear Kim, the quality of your work.
But it's
blah,
your
blah,
contractor.
blah. Okay, but he's found ChatGPT.
He found it probably through the influence of you. You're Kim Commando.
Maybe, yes. And so now I get ChatGPT notes that are, and I actually have been responding. Okay, you know, like TLDR, I just respond AI DR.
Right.
That's it. And so I think that's going to be the new
Okay,
one.
but you're proving my point with that, is that you got a response, a business response that was 100% AI slop, and you didn't like it. What makes you think we are going to move faster in that direction if people don't like it?
If he could have used AI in a different method.
Right.
Okay, instead
improperly trained is what you're saying.
Yes, and said, based on our schedule, I anticipate to be 100% done by this date. Instead of 4 paragraphs of gobbledygook that didn't mean anything, then, you know, he's just not using it properly.
Right.
But that's also a tradesman too. You know, electricians, plumbers, you know,
Yeah.
they're still going to be out there. Let's move on. Let's talk about Britta, 28 years old, 2 kids, art teacher. She decided that she wanted to get divorced. So she went to a lawyer. The lawyer said, it's going to cost you like 15 grand. She's like, I don't think so. So she went online, bought divorce papers, had ChatGPT fill them all out with her. And then the judge said, I hope a lawyer didn't draft this.
It was that bad? You get 400% of half of the assets.
Flying taxis, FAA finally approved that.
Oh, yeah, those are coming.
Yeah. A 3-year pilot program, 26 states. Look for them as early as this summer.
Now, I don't know a lot about aviation, but what's the difference between a helicopter and a flying taxi?
The number of rotors.
Okay.
And probably electric versus gasoline.
Okay.
Pilots qualified.
There'll be no pilots.
I know. That's what I was saying. There's no pilot in the.
Oh, okay.
In the
Would you
flying
take
taxi.
one? Right now, there's a taxi port 200 feet away, and you can. No?
Nope. I won't even get in a Waymo.
I know you won't, which is so weird.
I was just about ready to get in a Waymo, and then I saw the video of the girls who almost crashed in a Waymo, and I'm like, that is not me.
You could almost crash with it. How fast do you drive? I mean, it's possible anywhere. You got to try one.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about how your phone has an expiration date. We have our AI tool of the week, and also a hidden setting that lets apps spy on you. And of course, we just have the best callers ever here on the Kim Commando Show.
Every business owner I talk to is asking the same question. How do I make AI work for my business? My answer, don't wait. Your competitors are already using AI to work smarter, move faster, and make better decisions. In fact, there's a saying that every day your business is late to AI, you fall 2 days behind. NetSuite by Oracle is the #1 AI-powered cloud ERP trusted by more than 43,000 businesses. It brings your financials, your inventory, commerce, HR, and CRM together in one system. And when everything is connected in one place, AI has the information it needs to help you make smarter decisions. So instead of relying on guesswork, you're working from real-time data across your business. How do I know? We're implementing NetSuite at my own business right now, and I can already see the impact it's having on how we operate. For the first time ever, you can try NetSuite Next for free. If your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, go to netsuite.ai/Kim. It's built for every industry, ready for every boardroom. netsuite.ai/Kim.
Hey, look, you can spend 20 minutes reading tech news from 10 different sites, or you can let me do it for you. And that's The Current. It's my free daily newsletter. Almost 1 million folks get my 5-star rated newsletter every single day, and you can sign up right now over at getkim.com. That's getkim.com. Ready to do some phone calls?
Let's do it.
This next call sounds like something straight out of a movie, but it's very real. A woman in Los Angeles ordered a driverless Waymo for her daughter, and when it arrived, there was a stranger stuck in the trunk.
Oh, hi, Kim. Thank you for having me.
So walk us through that moment when the Waymo pulled up. When did you realize that something was wrong?
When my daughter called me over, it said someone's in the Waymo, in the trunk of the car. So I rushed right over to her and amazed to see someone was in the trunk of the car.
Well, we should clarify that when we say that there's a trunk in the car, you can see, I mean, it's not like the old type of trunks.
Yeah,
right?
it's a hatchback trunk.
Yeah, it's a hatchback.
Yeah.
And I actually looked at the video. So like you see like this guy's head popping up there.
When I was watching the video, you were like, what are you doing back there? And he said, they put me in here. Who is the they?
Exactly. I have no idea. I don't know to this day who put him up to it or who put him in there. It seems like it was a choice.
And he couldn't get out? He was stuck in the hatchback there?
Yeah, he couldn't get out. So, with the Waymo features, you're able to access to unlock the doors of the trunk with your app or within the car on the screen that they have provided. During this whole situation, it was impossible for a while to even see the feature to open the trunk, and there was no communication with inside the Waymo with why the Waymo has just stalled and has not moved. And I couldn't get across that because I would have thought some kind of, someone would have came up on the speaker and said, "Hey, is there a problem? Can I help you?"
Yeah, exactly.
There was nothing. Thank goodness the police was coming down the street at the time, and we flagged them down, and they came back around and helped to assist the situation. But at that point, they were not able to get the trunk open, and then finally I was able to push the button, which at that point they had their guns drawn. They got the gentleman out the vehicle, put handcuffs on him, and then one officer went to run his information. The other one kept him inside and tried to figure out how did this happen? Why was he there?
Was he arrested?
He was not arrested.
So would you ever put your daughter in a driverless Waymo again?
No.
Yeah.
I tried, literally, I was feeling Waymo. The fact that no one would be in a vehicle with her. I can track her. She, I have tracking on her iPhone and whatnot. I know she's safe. The systems that are in place have failed somewhere, and we need to figure out where they failed.
Yeah, it's because one time I took a Waymo and a teenager got in the front seat in the driver passenger, and I was in the passenger car, and then there was two people in the back, and the car would not move, and automatically they come on. They're like, "Hey, a minor cannot be sitting in the front seat."
It's true. Yes.
Yeah.
So they don't want that, but they don't mind people in the trunk.
Maybe
I
there
guess.
needs to be a sensor in the trunk, like a weight sensor or something like that. Well, Lucky, thanks for coming on and telling your story. What a wild story, huh?
It's crazy.
Let's see, Joan in Woodside, California. Hi, Joan. Where is Woodside, California?
South of San Francisco.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
It is.
It is. I love that area. So what's happening in Woodside?
Well, I am a professional house and dog sitter, and I like to keep a diary of the days that I'm with the dog, because everybody comes home and says, well, how did it go? How was my dog? What did my dog do? So I keep a diary, and I would like to embed pictures into that diary. I'm using a MacBook Air and Pages.
Okay.
And I opened the media tab, but the pictures are so tiny, and I can't find the pictures I need. So there must be some kind of a shortcut. I'm taking the pictures with my iPhone.
Okay.
And can I create a folder of these pictures on my iPhone so that then when I open the pictures on the MacBook, I can find them easier?
Sure. I mean, you can create an album, and then you're going to put the pictures of all the little puppies and the fur babies and everybody else in there. When you have Pages open, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can just open up, have photos open too, and you can find the picture of the dog, copy it on the clipboard, so to speak, right? And then you just paste that into Pages. In addition to that, you always have, when you look at the photos, you have that box with the arrow pointing up. And then if you click that, it allows you to send it to a text. It allows you to send to a document. You can send it just about anywhere. But it's actually pretty simple to do.
Can I crop the picture?
Sure, you can crop the picture in there too. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and Pages is pretty powerful. A lot of people don't realize because they're like, oh, it came free with my Mac. I mustn't be any good, right? But no, it's really great. Since we're talking about photos, another little trick for you is that with the newest version of Photos, they actually made it super easy for you to find all your duplicate photos. And so when you're in the Photos app, look for that duplicates. You're going to find a whole bunch of screenshots and other pictures of food, and I had like 3,200 duplicate. Have you ever looked in there, Andrew? I had
3,200?
Yes, duplicate photos.
Do you ever clean up your photos?
No, I don't.
I can tell.
No. You know what? In the big priorities of life, okay? I mean, there are things that you need to do, like go make money. You take care of the dog, okay? Pay your taxes.
All right, and then fourth would be clean up your phone once a century.
Exactly. Let's see. Hey, Joan, thanks for your call. Pet sitters. Have you ever thought about being a pet sitter?
Not one time in my life.
Really?
You've thought about, you don't clean out your phone, but you sit around thinking about being a pet sitter?
No, I would never be a pet sitter.
Okay, thank you.
But I do love my little Bella. Oh my gosh. Because I was in New York for 4 days. Okay. I should have videoed this because I was on one side of the house and she heard me. She whipped around the corner and she came flying at me at like 40 miles an hour. And I'm like, no. And then she knocked me over. I mean, she jumped on me and knocked me on the sofa and then started licking my face. And I'm like, I think she missed me.
But then you know what? That touches your heart.
It was so sweet.
She loves her mama.
And that all night, she wouldn't I had to be within eyesight all night. I'm like, Bella, I'm going to the bathroom, okay?
That's what you said last time when you went to New York.
Yeah, sure. Now, I want you to look at your phone right now. Look at your phone. Do you know what you should be looking at? You know what you should be thinking of when you look at that phone right now?
No.
It has an expiration date.
It does?
Every phone has an expiration date. It's called the end of life, an EOL, because here in the tech industry, we don't like to say things. We like to have acronyms. So it's EOL. EOL, it kind of sounds a little bit better. And so if you're ever wondering like when your phone is going to die, if you're buying a new phone, you go to endoflife.date.
Okay.
And that's where you can look at your make and model. They also have like iPads and Kindles. And so basically, if you're going to buy any type of used tech, you want to go there.
I just looked mine up.
There you go. So get this. Bethany's her name. She wakes up from a nap. She looks down and she sees red spots all over her legs.
Ooh.
And she doesn't go to Google. She goes to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT says, you need to go to the emergency room right now.
What was it?
Bethany, so you saw these spots and wow, we all see these you might be dying results online, but ChatGPT I read was pushy about it.
It was giving me the ambulance emoji and saying, go to the ER right now.
And what was it?
As it turned out, I ended up uploading some blood work, and it notified me that I had dangerously low platelet count. My platelets were at 25,000. Normal people have between 150 and 450,000, so that was dangerously low.
And you just happened to have this blood work on hand to upload to ChatGPT?
Yeah, I had been having some weird symptoms all week, so I got blood work on a Friday, and you know how sometimes they just email it to you over the weekend. Mm-hmm. So I got it, but my doctor didn't call me, and when Chat was asking me about whether I should get blood work done, I was like, oh, I got some results, let me upload it, and then things just got really serious really fast.
What kind of symptoms were you having?
I was having bruising, I was having digestive distress, I had these red spots all over my legs, and my gums started bleeding too. And then we saw the platelets. I started to get a lot of very, very serious, urgent, go to the ER right now, because it says you might be at risk for spontaneous bleeding because your platelet count is so low.
Oh my gosh.
So was ChatGPT's diagnosis the same exact as that you got when you went into the emergency room?
Yeah, it actually told me exactly what to say when I got there. I was panicking, so I was like, I'm getting in a taxi. I live in New York City. And it was coaching me through what I was going to say, and it said, when you walk in, say this thing. I have severely low platelets. I woke up with bruising and red spots. I need immediate evaluation for worsening thrombocytopenia and bleeding risk. And immediately that clicked. They took my temperature. I had a fever. They took my blood work. And by the time I got the blood work back, I was down to 0 platelets.
Oh, my gosh.
Is that even possible?
They ran my blood work a second time because even the people in the ER were really confused. And it is possible. And it turned out I was diagnosed with something called ITP, immune thrombocytopenia. And it's when your platelets attack themselves down to zero. And I needed platelet transfusions, IV injections, and steroids. I was in the hospital for about 3 days.
Wow.
Gosh.
And the craziest part to me was I was trying to contact my doctor the whole time, but it was the weekend and he wasn't responding. So by the time he finally got back to me on a Monday morning, I had had 2 platelet transfusions and 2 IV injections. And then he finally got back and was like, yeah, I'm glad you went in.
So if you hadn't gone to ChatGPT, right? I mean,
I don't know what would have happened. You have risk of spontaneous brain bleeds, actually. And if you don't have platelets, your body can't clot blood, so you basically would bleed to death.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Would you? You need a new doctor.
Yeah, I don't go to him anymore.
That's good. Can't find you all weekend. Meanwhile, my platelets are going down like a rocket over here.
What do you expect? You had a big golf weekend. Come on,
man.
guys.
So, wow. So the moral of the story is ChatGPT. We'll take a look at all the results, right?
It was a really great example of how I could getting a little bit of a second opinion when my doctor was unable. I really felt like I had agency. But the interesting thing is I had sort of gone down a deviant path with chat beforehand because I'd been having like weird digestive distress the whole weekend, and we went down like a whole other path that had me maybe theorizing that I had scurvy. So, it wasn't until I uploaded the blood work that things started to really escalate.
You know, the part that I really love, not just that chat saved your life, but that it told you exactly what to say.
Yes.
So that this way, when you were all stressed and panicky, that you could just look on your phone and look at the triage nurse and say these words, and it registered in his or her head, like, oh, this is a serious situation, because they're trained for that.
It was so perfect, and I used it the entire time I was at the hospital. I was alone at the hospital. My husband was at home with my kids. So every time a new blood work came in, I was like, what does this mean? What does this say? What questions should I ask the doctors when they come here? And it was really like an emotional partner for me the whole time, too.
You know what, Bethany? Thank you for telling us your story. All right, so it's time now for our AI tool of the week. Now, one of the ones that I find most fascinating, and I've actually been tinkering with it for a while, is Notebook LM. Have you played with that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, when it first came out, everybody's like, gosh, you can feed it any topic and we'll do a podcast like 2 NPR hosts. And they sounded like NPR hosts.
Stress the NPR host. Like it was very cookie cutter right at NPR.
Give me an example of an NPR host.
You want to know about the Korean War? Let me tell. Hold on, Cheryl. Before you go down it was so vanilla.
So, but it's grown up a little bit. So if you go to notebooklm.google.com, let's say you have a 25-page report or a 64-page report, a home inspection report, or whatever it is. And you're like, I really don't want to read this whole feasibility study or whatever it is. But you have time to listen to it. So you can feed that whole document up into Notebook LM, and then it will spin it out as a podcast where people are talking about what exactly is in this. And so maybe that 40-page quarterly report is like 15 minutes. It's actually very, very cool. So you can listen to it when you're walking the dog, you're on your commute, or whatever it may be. In case you want to check it out, it's at notebooklm.google.com. Thomas in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello there, Thomas. Welcome aboard. Wow, I think I read about you. Did I not?
You might have. Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me on the show.
You betcha. Now, you had your phone stolen, and then you were tracking it where it landed. Is that right?
Yeah. I was out in Charlotte at a bar with some friends, and I had my phone in the blink of an eye snatched from my pocket before I could even react. And so when I got home that night, I was like, oh, well, I might as well see where it is on Find My iPhone. And so my phone started this crazy journey down the East Coast and eventually ending up in China.
Wow. And then how long did it take to get from Charlotte to China?
The whole process happened about over the course of a month or so, 3 weeks to a month. I was able to track it by the next morning, I mean, they were quick. It was already in South Carolina, so about one state down. And then within 4 to 5 days, it was in Miami. And it sat at it looked like either a Miami apartment or a Miami church. You know, from the story, they kind of focus on the church angle and how kind of peculiar that was, that it looked like it could have been in a church. So it sat in Miami for a couple weeks before it got shipped on a plane. I was able to actually track it here, too, to Memphis, Tennessee, and then eventually over to China.
Oh, probably went to FedEx through Memphis.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And I was able to, I remember I kind of pulled up the map and I was zooming in and I was like, wait a second, that's the FedEx wing of the airport. So yeah, it was. I knew it was on a FedEx plane headed from Memphis to China.
At any point, did you try and intercept it? Like when you found out it was at FedEx, did you reach out to FedEx and say, hey, my phone is in a package that you're about to deliver to China?
Yeah, I didn't call FedEx, but I called several police departments. I called a police department in Charlotte, of course, and then Cowpen, South Carolina. And then it was at a hardware store. It looked like they had stopped for lunch or something in Cowpen, South Carolina. And so I called the hardware store next door. I was like, hey, I think my stolen phone and a bunch of other phones might be in a car outside. And they were willing to help, but they needed, you know, the police to authorize that. And so I never got the Cowpens police to respond. And then I called the Miami police, and you kind of see until NBC picked the story up, actually, when it happened to enough people. That was the first time someone, I felt like, took the time to listen to what was happening.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. So it's happening throughout the country, and it's pickpockets. Yeah. Or you could be at a bar, and you know how many times you're at a bar and you're like, you turn your phone over and put it off to the side because you want to be annoyed by the notifications, right? So then somebody just swipes it, and then they get the phones to eventually churches in China. And because it's easier to get the phones through customs if it says it's going through a church or it's going to a church. And keep in mind, even if you know, a lot of here in the United States, the phones are basically worthless without an Apple ID.
Right.
But there, they jailbreak it, they put on messaging apps, and they're being used as like covert tools for communications.
Because I would assume if my phone was stolen, it would be wiped and sold on Facebook the next day. But this phone took a wild ride.
It did. So Thomas, were you able, after once it got to China, did it totally get shut down at that point, your access to the Find My?
Yeah, pretty quickly. And the reason they ship it to China, so the whole time, you know, within a week of my phone getting stolen, I started getting text messages pretending to be Apple, pretending to be this or say this, to try to get my Apple ID or to get me to take the phone off my Apple ID. So what they do is when it's in the U.S., they try to trick you into unlocking your iPhone because, like you guys said, when it's Apple ID locked, it's pretty much a paperweight.
Yeah, it is.
And then if they can't get you to kind of sign out of the phone or to get your iCloud password, that's when they can ship it to China, and then it's pretty much scrapped for parts, and it's a huge industry over there with these giant factories.
But that makes sense, because I was also curious, why was it powered on the whole time, allowing you to track it, but they were trying to break into it until the last-ditch effort of sending it to China.
Yeah, and it is like you said, Thomas. It is for parts or for maybe some covert operations, and so, you know, bottom line here is that if you're out and about with your iPhone, okay, you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping tabs on it.
Keep it in your pocket or your purse.
Well, no, he got pickpocketed.
But did he have it in his back pocket?
I don't know. He had it in his pocket, so you know.
I'm a front pocket guy.
Okay, all right.
I'll be fine.
Rick in Indianapolis. Hi there, Rick.
Hi, Kim, digital goddess.
Finally, somebody shows me some respect around here. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for taking my call.
You betcha. What's going on?
I play this one really basic solitaire game just about every day, and I keep getting these pop-up ads, which I don't care to pay to get them out of there. And the one that's really grabbed my attention is, you can make cash playing bingo or playing this solitaire that. And I was raised to think that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about these things?
Well, hate to break it to you, but by playing solitaire or bingo or whatever that game is online, you are not going to be able to pay your bills. Okay. Most of these apps, you gain points. And as you get more points, that's when you can turn it into a gift card. And typically they won't even send you the gift card until you reach at least $10 or $15 or even $20. Some folks, the folks that I have spoken to, the most that they make is probably $20 a month. And now if you do compete and sometimes in tournaments, there may be some cash prizes for the tournaments, but it's not like solitaire is going to be this big tournament play. And it's not like esports. So then you start thinking like, all right, so now I'm playing solitaire and I'm playing for free because I don't want to pay. So this way I don't see the ads. So what are they doing? That's where you have to look at your permissions and look at the terms and conditions, because this solitaire game could be getting a copy of, anything that you have on your phone. It could be tracking your location. It could be tracking what you buy online, the ads that you see. And so in case you're ever wondering, is Facebook really listening? Because a lot of people think that, you say something and you're all of a sudden you start seeing ads for it on Facebook. Is that it's not necessarily that's Facebook's listening. It could be one of these nefarious apps that you're using. And the app is actually doing the listening and doing all the tracking, but then selling that information off to Facebook. So, you used a very good phrase, Rick, and that was, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably bad. Okay. So for you to sit there and play solitaire or whatever and to think that you're going to make a whole bunch of money, it's just not realistic. Now, if you do need to make money, there are legitimate ways for you to make money. Like, for example, you could sign up for Amazon Turk. And so instead of playing solitaire, maybe you sort, a list, or you say, what color is this on the screen? Things that AI just can't do on a regular basis with a lot of accuracy. Humans are doing. Again, that's Amazon Turk. You can just sign up, and you want to look for legitimate opportunities. And if that doesn't float your boat, we have a whole list of them over at commando.com. Just search for Make Money at Home. And the worst thing you can do, though, is to Google search that. So don't do that because you will get scammed. So just do that search work for home over at commando.com, because that's where you'll see a whole list of great opportunities. So you think that Bluetooth is just good for connecting and listening to music, right?
Yeah, of course.
Not. Some apps are using Bluetooth to figure out where you're located, how long you stay, who else is around. And then, of course, guess what? Is that they're selling that information
to the insurance companies
and anybody else that they can do it to build marketing profiles about you. The biggest ones that are doing this are like fitness apps, airline apps, shopping apps, basically apps.
If it starts with an A and ends with a it's tracking you.
So what you want to do is look at your Bluetooth settings and turn off anything that should not be using Bluetooth or that you're concerned about it having access. There are just so many different ways that they just get in and get this information. It's just nuts.
It must be really valuable.
So if you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my free newsletter. It's called The Current, and we cover topics like this every single day. Almost 1 million folks get my 5-star rated newsletter every single morning, and you can too. Sign up right now over at getkim.com. Okay, let me just ask you a question. Where else are you going to get all this know-how for free? Yeah, I know. That's why you need to tell at least one friend about the Kim Komando Show and the Kim Komando Podcast. And if you haven't already, make sure that you do sign up for our free newsletters. Over 1 million folks get it. You've heard me say it's 5-star rated. Just sign up. You're going to love it at getkim.com. I'm Kim Komando, of course, and thanks for being here.